welcome to our first podcast from the front court. My name is Idris, and I have it here with me.
From the Watermelon Inc., Abdul Yakin. Either one's fine. Basketball phenom.
Basketball phenom. All right. Okay, first of all, we're going to get into Spurs OKC. As we saw yesterday... What time is it? Okay, yeah. As we saw yesterday, OKC managed to win Game 6 of the Spurs OKC series. Do you have anything you want to say about that? Because as a Spurs fan, I feel like you might have a little something to say.
Well, as a Spurs fan, I think Tony Parker came out of the gates focused. I've never seen him as focused as he was before in that game. He came out 21 points in the first half, if I can remember, actually. And I think he had around 10 assists. I'm not sure about those numbers, but I think those are approximate numbers. And he kind of slowed down in the second half. I think Oklahoma City adjusted. They adjusted well, but, the Spurs bench didn't show up like they haven't showed up. Like they didn't show up in the last 4 games that they played versus OKC. And, I think that was like one of the main reasons that OKC did win 4 games in a row. But it was a valiant effort by the Spurs. Still love them. We'll come back next year.
I mean, from the get-go, I personally thought that OKC was going to win. People say they were too young, but I mean, from the previous series, they just dominated their opponents. I mean, the Mavericks, I knew they were going to beat the Mavericks, but I didn't expect them to dispose of the Lakers that easily. And you said something about Tony Parker coming out with 21 points.
Yeah.
And 10 assists.
Yeah.
But in the second half, he only had 9 points and 2 assists. Do you think he fizzled out, or?
Well, I mean, any player that comes out that strong is probably going to get tired, except for LeBron James, as we saw tonight. But no, I think the Oklahoma City adjusted well to what Tony Parker was looking at. It was, like I said, it was up to the Spurs bench to knock down shots and do other things like that. But Gary Nee was off. Basically they had a hard time knocking down shots. And when Oklahoma City is not guarding the shot, they're focusing on Tony Parker. And they focused on Tony Parker, and they slowed him down a bit. So.
What do you think about the Spurs' future after this? What kind of changes do you need to make? Because people say that they're old. I mean, the only old person I actually see there is Tim Duncan. So,
well, as far as future plans go, Spurs have an incredible staff in general, just from top to bottom. I'm sure their janitors are probably the top of the line, but as far as future plans go, I think Tony Parker has hit his prime. Obviously, we've seen this season; he's been playing literally out of his mind. He's been ridiculous. I think Manu Ginobili, he was injured last season. He got better this season. Still hasn't exactly found his rhythm. Kind of got. The game 1 came out with 26 points and assists, and he just gave us a solid game. Won game 1 actually for us in that comeback. But I think that we keep the core. We have a very deep bench, as we also saw this season. And I think, Tim Duncan will, he will be the greatest power forward to have ever played the game, but it might be time for him to step aside. It's probably going to be his decision anyway. So, once he steps aside, I think the Spurs are going to move forward with a major move for...
I know, even moving forward, let's think about it. The Spurs really don't have a weakness per se. Okay, their bench, flared out in the last game, but their bench has come up clutch a lot throughout the whole playoffs. So, I'm not sure what the change will be exactly.
I think it'll just be a change to upgrade in that position. Tim Duncan is not Tim Duncan is still he'll still give you like a 15 and 10 throughout the season. You know, he's not completely done, but as far as, you know, trying to stay on top of your game, I think we do need to make a few upgrades to a few positions, or we can obviously get better. I mean, I think we have the best coach in the league right now with Greg Popovich. So I mean, as far as things go, I think we can just, you know, do a few things in Tim Duncan's position. Thiago Splitter is doing well. I don't think he's quite there yet. Yeah. You know, maybe we might be looking at Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean
that'll be amazing.
It's a long shot, but okay. Well, moving on to Oklahoma City Thunder. I was listening to ESPN radio yesterday night, and I'm not sure who it was. I can't remember who the person exactly. They said that if Oklahoma should win the championship this year, that's what's blocking LeBron from winning the championship, and is going to block LeBron from winning the championship for the next several years, because Oklahoma City is going to be like the top team. But I can't see that, because as Oklahoma goes on, their main players are going to demand more money. And if they demand more money and it's given to them, they're just going to be the next Miami Heats. A bunch of 3 players. Harden is not going to get max contract. Nobody in their right mind will give Harden a max contract. I wouldn't. But he was going to demand a lot of money. And if he's demanding a lot of money, Serge Ibaka is going to demand a lot of money. So that's pretty much a max contract for you right there. So you have 4 people taking up most of the cap. And who else? And, you know, Kendrick Perkins, he's going to be the type of person like, oh, you're giving him more money? I want more money. I can just see it in his face. That's the type of person I think he might be. But I am not here to judge. I am not here to jump into conclusion. You have anything to say about this?
I mean, I think Kendrick Perkins is kind of like he's a team-oriented guy, so I don't think he'd necessarily try to pull such a move. I mean, obviously all of them would like an increase in income. I'm not sure what each Oklahoma City player is being paid currently, but I mean, I'm assuming Kevin Durant is obviously the highest paid, and Westbrook, you know, those are the top 2 guys. But I think as far as getting paid goes and going with the future of Oklahoma City, I think naturally Kevin Durant should probably get paid the most, Westbrook, and Harden. I think when you start getting to Harden, you should probably, you know, try to look at the team goal versus anything. And even Kevin Durant can step up like Miami did. You know, LeBron or Wade don't. Neither of those guys have a max contract, but Chris Bosh does. And I mean, and as far as blocking championships, I don't necessarily think that'll block LeBron. LeBron is too good of a player to necessarily be blocked from a championship by any team. But I mean, LeBron's 27. He's not that old. He's approaching, I guess, NBA old. But like, I mean, once you hit 30, then people start bringing in the factor of when you're gonna win. I mean, I'm assuming he'd probably have a championship, at least a championship by then.
I mean, after 30, Jordan won 3 more championships.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't think it'll necessarily block LeBron if Kevin Durant and the Thunder do win a championship. I think it'll be tough battles with them in the finals, or, you know, tough battles in the finals constantly. I don't think it'll necessarily block him though, but I mean, it'll be a tough match.
All right. So we're going to come back after the commercial break with the Heats and the Celtics. What happened tonight's game and what we expect in the next game. And we'll be back. All right. Something I didn't mention at the beginning of the program. The opening theme you heard for this song was not mine. It's it's what they used to play on NBC back in the old days, during the golden ages of the NBA, where the referees weren't. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So the Heat Celtics. Wow. It's been interesting coming into this series. Everybody thought the Heat were gonna sweep the Celtics out of the what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, let's just leave it at sweep the Celtics. I thought the Celtics would win at least a game. I didn't think they were gonna win, and I still don't think they're gonna win. Reason being that they lost tonight. Let's talk about LeBron. Actually, you know what? Let's leave LeBron for last. I have my reasons. Let's just talk about the game in general. The Heat won two games. The Celtics came back to win 3 in a row, including one in Miami, the last game. And now the Heat had their back to the wall, and people are still people are blaming LeBron. I saw an NBA poll saying that who needs to step up for the Heat to win. They had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, or others. Personally speaking, I thought it was Dwayne Wade because Dwayne Wade looks like
Eddie Curry.
Eddie Curry. That's a little tragic, but that's a little too much. Let's just say he didn't look like the Dwayne Wade that he should. Who do you think should have stepped up?
I think just role players and Wade. I mean, sorry to.
No, you're only allowed to choose one. Others or Wade.
Oh, I mean, Wade had to step up. I mean, there's just nothing else about it. I mean, as far as stepping up goes, when you think step up, I think as far as Wade has played in past series, even in the Indiana series, which the reason Wade got into the game was just based off LeBron James' amazing plays. I think Wade just had to step up for himself this time, and I mean he did.
I mean, he looked so non-motivated.
I mean, he was 16. He was 6 of 17 in the game, which numbers don't say a lot, but his play to begin with, I think he had 4 points at He had 4 points at a significant at a point in time where you shouldn't have 4 points if you're doing Wade. So I think that was just unacceptable. Just in general, they got the win, so you're not going to hear about criticism of anyone. Wade finished with 17 points.
Most coming in the second half after the game had been put away.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely Wade. Definitely.
Do you think the Celtics have a shot? A puncher's chance at this?
At the championship or at the finals?
To get to the finals.
Absolutely. The Celtics did win in Miami just a few days ago.
But I don't know if LeBron just keeps...
LeBron's he's playing unconscious right now. I definitely think that Paul Pierce is going to step up. Big players make big plays in big times.
Paul Pierce is so underrated. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the NBA.
Yeah.
I remember, because I'm a Knicks fan, during the dark ages, even when the Celtics were because we had a period where the Celtics and the Knicks were in the dark ages together, he still used to pull a bullet through us. He was like, no, I can't say Reggie Miller. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. But yeah. Let's talk about LeBron James and his performance tonight. Wow. 45 points.
Ridiculous.
Unconscious, as you said before. That's not even all. He had how many rebounds?
I can't even remember. It was a ridiculous amount of rebounds. He was just amazing today. He played almost the whole game. He was just extremely efficient.
45 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. Wow. Funny stat. LeBron was a plus 22 in efficiency. Wade was a plus 23. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that obviously, like you said before, Wade's efficiency didn't come when it was actually significant. LeBron, his efficiency. I mean, it's still efficient.
It's still efficient, yes.
Granted that it was a pretty good night for him, I guess, in that terms. The numbers, not Wade-like numbers. He had
17 points.
He had three turnovers. I mean, as far as who would you rather have on the court? I mean, even though LeBron was his efficiency was just plus 22. Wasn't just plus 22. Was plus 22. I think LeBron James obviously would be on the court. I mean, his efficiency came from more field goals, a better just a better game in general, better percentage.
It's funny you said who as to who would you rather have on the court. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of tweets about people saying Kevin Durant's better than LeBron James.
Well,
I can see it in your face.
In the words of Charles Barkley, America, LeBron James is the best player on the planet right now. And
LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world.
And no one's close at this point. I mean, Kevin Durant might be second. Probably.
I mean, LeBron is a freak of nature. Like,
Kevin Durant is probably second. But as far as who the better player is, just no one is even coming close. Like all-round player, I think, because people get on LeBron for his diminishing plays or diminishing contributions in the fourth quarter. Like deferring to other players.
Yeah. But, I mean, okay, you can look at that, but LeBron as a player, LeBron is known for his offense. KD's known for his offense. LeBron is known for his defense. Do you think about Kevin Durant and defense?
Kevin Durant actually just has, I think, I forgot who said this. I think Kenny Smith said this. Shout outs to Kenny. He said Kevin Durant has the luxury of just floating around on the defensive end. He doesn't really play defense, doesn't play hard defense, doesn't guard the best players normally. So he's like, LeBron is guarding the hardest players on the court on defense, making the blocks, making the steals, scoring the ball, distributing.
Like, this dude does everything. I mean, if I did all that, I'll probably be tired by the fourth quarter too.
Exactly, and LeBron's the reason that there isn't a buzzer beating shot. He puts the game that out of reach that there's no reason for him to hit the shot. The shot that Kevin Durant hit, yes, that was clutch against Dallas Mavericks. That kind of floater that he didn't even see the basket on. But in that case, I'm pretty sure LeBron, the game probably wouldn't even be close enough for anyone to hit the shot. So that's just the difference there.
All right. People get on LeBron for the whole decision. I didn't really want to go to this because it's been 2 years now. But I mean, people get on LeBron for the whole decision. As a Knicks fan, I was mad he didn't come here, but that's not really the main reason why I'm mad. I mean, it's like the firewood to the reason why I'm not a big LeBron fan. I don't think I want the Heat to win yet. I mean, after that, okay, you got to Miami, you're chilling on the beach, a lot of hot ladies, you're getting your money, you don't have to pay state taxes. And then you start to complain about the little things. After when they went in on the first year when they went on their losing streak, start saying, "Oh, I played too many minutes." Come on, with great power comes great responsibilities. Nobody begged you to tattoo the chosen one on your back. Nobody told you to call yourself King James. Step up. I mean, he's doing good. He's doing marvelous. I don't want to take anything from him, but you can't complain when things start getting hard. Anyways, on to things outside of the playoffs. I had to talk about the Knicks on my first podcast.
All right. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan too, so.
I wanna be a champion, so freaking bad.
So we're talking about how the Knicks can improve. I was thinking about this deal, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. Amari Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler in a deal for Dwight Howard. Now, the reason why I say this is because Amari Stoudemire is a good player. I love him, but Charles Barkley voice. But he's just not getting the job done. People say that, he was doing this and that when Carmelo, before Carmelo came in. But I mean, how am I gonna put this? I don't know, but I feel like as a somebody of that level, even Carmelo is also has to be blamed with this too. Even on that level, you have to find a way. I mean, okay, both of you want the ball, but it's not all the time. You have to have the ball, and when you do have the ball, do something with it. Amari Stoudemire only has 2 plays. He gets the ball, he fakes, and takes the outside jump shot. Most likely misses it, or he takes the ball, fakes, run into the paint, and somebody steals the ball, or he loses it. Am I right or am I wrong?
I agree. I mean, I think let me just rewind. The deal sounds really good. I was gonna kind of get on you because Chandler is literally the only defense the Knicks have, but bringing Dwight Howard in, he brings in both ends of the spectrum. He brings in the offensive skill and the rebounding and the defense. Mainly his defense, but he can drop 40 if he has to. I think that'll be an amazing deal. Actually, I feel like the Knicks are in dire need of defense. I don't think Dwight Howard could be the only defensive solution because he's kind of an inside player, and we obviously need perimeter players.
It's gonna be like the Kobe Shaq in New York with Melo and Howard.
Probably not as good.
Not as good, but I mean,
but I can see. Yeah, I definitely see where they're going.
And it works for both teams. I mean, we get open space in our salary cap, and not only does Orlando get a good center in Tyson Chandler, they get a good power forward in Amari Stoudemire. And Amari Stoudemire and Dwight Howard both had surgery. So it's like we both giving up injured players here.
Yeah, I mean, comparing their value, I'm sure everyone knows like Dwight Howard has more value. I just think the Knicks. I love you, Amari Stoudemire, but you can't. The
Charles Barkley voice.
Like, I just don't think I don't think Amari is I just don't think he's good enough. I'm just gonna be completely honest. He's at this point. He has some kind of, relevance in, like the basketball world as far as he's kind of a diminishing player. I feel like the Knicks should trade him while he still has value. Like if we wait too long, we might not even be able to pull off that, whatever deal it is for Dwight Howard or for any star player that we might be looking for. But the Knicks still have a lot of work, have a long way to go. Obviously the Heat series wasn't going to be that close. Melo won that single game for us.
Oh man!
And he put the Knicks on his back.
I can't even count how many. I don't know how people will say that they should trade Melo.
Yeah, as far as
it puzzles me.
Either one who should go, I think. I think Melo is a much better player.
Oh, much better. In almost every aspect, like
yeah.
Even in low post, I could say because Melo gets to the basket and scores.
Probably top 5 offensive players in the game right now. Could argue for top 3. I just think
I'm thinking of like who's like better than Melo right now.
Only 2 players I can think of are probably LeBron James and Kevin Durant.
I still think he's better than LeBron because he's a better outside shooter than
As far
LeBron.
as
Offensive.
game goes, I mean, it's debatable, definitely.
Because, I mean, Melo has a good inside game. He has a good outside game. LeBron's outside game is iffy.
Yeah. I mean, he was on today, but I mean,
Yeah.
on some days, yeah, I agree.
I mean, obviously, people actually say Melo doesn't play defense, but when he wants to, he's a good lockdown perimeter defender. And this shocks me sometimes. Like, come on, play this every night. It's not that hard. But Knicks 2012, 2013?
Absolutely, let's go.
Let's go. All right, this is our first podcast, and we are hoping to get better as we go on. My name is Idris.
It's Abdul Yakini, basketball phenom from the Watermelon League.
Yo, check that out. That's some good shit. I know I'm not meant to curse, but that's how good it is. So yeah, check that out. The Watermelon Inc.
Visit it. It's pretty funny. You should just check it out.
Yeah, and we end with the quote of the cast. So the quote of the cast is a quote from past NBA players, coaches, or present NBA players, coaches. Something that we think we find interesting. And here's one from Charles Barkley from the Olympic team. It's Suzuki.
How much do you know about Angola, the guy that you would be playing there? And
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble.
Okay, that's all we have for you today. My name is Idris from the front court.
Abdul Yakini at the Watermelon Inc.
And stay ballin', my friends. Good night. Or good morning.